Question number 4 is on hire purchase and interest rate. So without further ado, let's do question 4a. The cash price of a new car is $90,500. So the meaning of cash price is an upfront payment. If you have $90,500 right now, you can pay it immediately and you can get the car directly. Otherwise, if you choose not to pay directly, right, you can actually buy the car under the hired purchase scheme. So how does the hired purchase works is this, right? You pay a deposit of 20% of the cash price, meaning you will pay upfront 20% of the cash price, which means you will be left with 80% of the cash price that you still have to pay. So this means that 80 out of 100, I multiply by the cash price. Okay, so this will be the amount that you need to pay. That will be equals to $72,400. Okay, so this is the amount that you need to pay. You need to pay for how long? Over 3 years, but they charge you a simple interest of 2% per year over 3 years based on this amount, $72,400 that you need to pay. So to calculate this interest, right, which is for part I, what you do is you take the principal amount, which is the one that you need to pay, times the interest rate times the time, which is the duration. So which means that the interest rate is P times R times T. So your principal amount is $72,400 times the interest rate. In this case, it's 2%, which is 2 over 100. Okay, 2% is 2 over 100. Because this is the interest rate per year, right? So the T here will account for the duration, which is over 3 years. So I multiply by 3. So this evaluates to $4,344. So this will be the total amount of interest that you need to pay. Okay, so for 4a part 2, the monthly installment paid by David. So in this case, how much does David need to pay every month? Correct? So as I mentioned earlier, David has already paid 20% of the deposit. So 80% of the cash price he still has to pay, which is $72,400. On top of this, David has to pay interest, which over the course of 3 years, the total interest that he has to pay, we have calculated it, is $4,344. So in total, David in the course of the 3 years has to pay $72,400 plus the interest. So in this case, this is equals to $76,744. So this has to be paid in the course of 3 years, which means in the duration of 36 months, because 3 years is 36 months, right? He has to pay $76,744 over 36 months, which means 1 month monthly installment, we take $76,744 divide by 36. So this is equals to $2,131.78. Okay, so this will actually be the answer for 4a part 2. Okay, so for money, you can round off to 2 decimal place. Okay, so that's it for question 4a part 2. Now for 4b, right, okay, is on currency conversion. Now a bag costs 1,850,000 Korean won. So if you go to Korea, this will be the currency that you will be using. The conversion rate between SGD Singapore dollars and Korean won is 1 Singapore dollars is actually 815.79 Korean won. So I want you to do it this way, okay? 1 SGD, you arrow 815 2,079 Korean won. Okay, so calculate the price of the bag in Singapore dollars. So this bag costs 1,850,000 Korean won, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to calculate 1 Korean won, okay? How much is it in SGD? So from 1 Korean won, from 815.79 Korean won to 1 Korean won, I divide by 815.79 over here. So over here, I also divide by 815.79. So 1 Korean won is 1 over 815.79 SGD, Singapore dollars. Now, the bag costs 1,850,000 Korean won. So 1,850,000 Korean won. Okay, I will multiply from 1 Korean won, I multiply by 1,850,000. So same thing over here, I also multiply by 1,850,000. So this actually gives me 1 over 815.79 times 1,850,000. So what is this in terms of SGD? Let's check in your calculator. So this is actually equals to, rounded to 2 DP, 2,267.74 SGD. So this will be the price of the bag in Singapore dollars. And we are done with 4B, and we are done with question number 4.